Hello and welcome to another episode of Cool Story Summer. Today I'm going to be telling the story of how I wrote the song Pasadena, which I'm really excited to share with you all. I'm really thankful for the love that it's already gotten. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. This is one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, so feel good about it. And so the story of how I wrote it was, I was just kind of... It was a really happy moment in 2018. I was in college and I was just really noticing how my friend group was just awesome. And like, I'd made a lot of new friends in Pasadena and I really wanted to write kind of a tribute to them. So I was thinking about, Pasadena, and I was thinking maybe I want to write a song about Pasadena or about my friends or something. It was like 2 a.m. and I was like drifting off and then this random melody just came through my head and it was like, I took a train to Pasadena. And then I was like, why does this melody have to be good? And like now I have to get up and record it before I forget it. And so it was kind of annoying the way that it came to me. But I just like recorded it. And they recorded the basic thing and then I went back to sleep. And here are the voice memos I recorded in my half asleep state.
1, 2, I took, oh fuck, 1, 2, I took the train to Pasadena. Boom, 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 boom. I did it down so well. But, I took the train to Pasadena. And I never thought much would come from it, but I took the train to Pasadena. And I never knew I'd meet so many friends up here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, whoa. And we sang a song in the city that sounded like music. You help me stand my ground and dance to the rhythm of this old town, yeah.
And then, I spent the next few days actually working on it and finishing it. And it was inspired by my first orientation days of college, which were really bad. I got to the station and I actually didn't cry yet. I cried when I left the station, but for the sake of the song, I said I got to the station and cried, because technically I did, but it was on the way out of the school, out of Pasadena. But what happened was I got to orientation day. I felt like I wouldn't get along with any of these people, and like I didn't think I would make any friends, and it was really awkward. And this was at LACM, my college, where I got my bachelor's degree in songwriting and composition. Orientation day was just so awkward. I didn't know what to do. I was kind of talking to some people, and some of them seemed kind of vapid to me, or they didn't seem like my kind of people, and I was like, these people are like plastic people. And on day one, I did make one friend, and his name was Max, and he overheard me talking about Mr. Plinkett, who is, the subject of What Do I Do? And we bonded over Red Letter Media, and that's how we became friends. And then later on day one, we had to take a test to see if we could test out of music theory, to see if we would not have to take the class. And I took the test on music theory, and I was like, I got like an F on the test, and I could not test out of music theory. And I felt really disappointed in myself, really scared, and thought maybe I was like too dumb for this, or like I was upset that I couldn't prove myself, and bad day. I was crying a lot. So I was just horrifically embarrassed, scared of growing older. I was scared that like my whole life was gonna change, and like being around new people, it was just terrible. And I got on the train, I think I was with my parents, and we just rode back home, and I was crying in public on the train, and I just couldn't help it. I was like, I had my guitar case, and I was like covering my face and like sobbing into the thing, and I had like snot all over my face, and I was thinking, I'm never gonna make any friends here. And then the next day, I did make that one friend, Max, but I still didn't have a lot of hope. And then the next day there was an open mic at school, and I saw this girl on stage who was rapping and doing her own song, and I really, I loved the melody, and I was just thinking, and I had this weird sense that I knew we were going to be friends, but I couldn't put my finger on it exactly, and that's kind of what that is. Oh, she texted me just now, look at that. Oh, that's so sweet. That girl I'm talking about just DM'd me on Instagram. She's my best friend to this day. And her name is Subi, and the song that she was singing is called Off the Ground, and you can hear it if you want to. And on Spotify or whatever. It's good. And And so she was singing Off the Ground, and I was kind of like, and I feel like the lyric, I squinted at you and I smiled, is kind of weird, but that's exactly what I did. I was like, why do I feel like we're gonna be friends? And so we just became friends. And like, it was so easy, and yeah, I'm still just so thankful for her. We just clicked like, it's like we're a two-headed monster. We just walk around everywhere, and people call us, people have messed up our names and called us Suber and Summy because we're like one and the same whenever we go anywhere in school. And yeah, so she's my BFF, and I'm glad I met her that day. And then as school went on, I kept meeting more people, and you know, my like main group of classmates became some of my best friends, and I was just really thankful, and that's why I wanted to write a song about all those wonderful people. And also, I think Subi was wearing like this nice embroidered Hogwarts jacket, and I'm not even that big of a Harry Potter fan, but I saw her Hogwarts thing, and I was just trying to think of some way I could start a conversation with her, and I was like, your jacket's nice, and she was like, oh, thanks, and like, that's kind of how it started. And then the stuff that I name check in the song are real places. We would always walk down Fair Oaks to go to Subway, and there's a ton of antique shops on the way there, and the dress that I wear in the music video is actually a dress that I recently bought from one of those antique shops on Fair Oaks, so it's the most authentic Pasadena dress you can possibly imagine. And I couldn't really think of something to rhyme, so I said old bus stops, even though the bus stops there are pretty like modern, but it fit well with the meter. So, and I was thinking about the old times in my life, like people I don't really hang out with anymore, and I was just like a smarter and more well-adjusted person, and I was looking at the antiques in the shops, and they kind of reminded me of who I used to be and who I used to hang out with, and high school, which by the way, college is like obviously a million times better than high school. And I was just thinking, you know, I love my past and I'm thankful for it, but man, it looks so dusty right now because I'm just having so much fun with these new people. And you get all my jokes as we're walking down Fair Oaks. Yeah, I'm mainly talking about Subi there, but you know, we've walked down with a bunch of people before. There's this other guy named Paco who is also kind of has a lyric in the song written about him, and like, but yeah, I'm referring to a lot of people when I say you get all my jokes, but yeah, it's mainly just about all my friends that I made in Pasadena. And then we're walking down Fair Oaks. Yeah, obviously Fair Oaks is a real street in Pasadena where we've spent most of our time. A lot of big moments in my life happen like right there on that street. So, and by the way, that laughing noise, that laughing noise right before the second verse is actually me and Subi laughing because we were talking about Taylor Swift on the couch one day, and we were writing a song together, and I had my guitar in hand, and she was just sitting there, and we were talking about Taylor Swift, and I wasn't really a big fan of her until Lover came out, and then I became like the biggest Swiftie ever. But we were talking about her, and I was like, I don't know, I don't really like her music that much. And there was like a moment of silence, and then I suddenly decided to go brrr, and play the first chord of We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. And then at the exact same time, Subi randomly decided to go, wee! And like, for no reason, we both just went, brrr, we are never. And then we looked at each other.
Yeah. I know. We are never.
We're on the same wavelength in another dimension.
Did you intend to play that song?
Yes. What the that's why I say her mind is like a mirror, because for some reason we just think the same, and like that was the most synchronistic moment of my life. And so that's an audio recording of us laughing at that exact moment, because I was recording since we were writing a song together for class. And also the laughter at the end of the song is audio that I took because I was recording the class. Instead of taking notes, I was just recording a songwriting class, and we were talking about branding, and my teacher Phil Swan, who's awesome. My teacher Phil Swan was talking about branding, and he said something like, he said to my friend Paco, he said, and if you decide that you want to be a 13-year-old girl and that's your brand, then go with it, or something like that. And I said something like, I have it recorded because it was like the greatest joke I've ever told. It was right around the time when Reputation by Taylor Swift came out.
Right? You may have this revelation Paco, and find out that really inside you're a 13-year-old girl, and that's who you want to be.
The old Paco can't come to the phone right now. He's dead.
Oh my god.
Okay?
And that's the laughter that you hear at the end of Pasadena, because I was so proud of that moment, and I was so proud that I actually recorded it. You know, when when a joke that you make really slaps, you want to save it forever, so I put it in the song because I was so proud of that stupid joke. But yeah, that's why people are laughing at the end, and that's Phil Swan saying okay. And the girl who's laughing in the song is Michelle Uziel, who's also a musician. These are all great musicians, people. Go check them out. And here are a couple more of my friends shouting them out. Go check them out because they're all from Pasadena. Well, not from Pasadena, but they all went to school with me in Pasadena, and they're all great musicians. And then the second verse is on the couch at your apartment. We talked about the universe. I'm not actually talking about Subi there, but I was on a lot of couches at a lot of apartments at that time, but I'm specifically talking about my friend Bilal, aka the founder of Bloodorama. He and I were on the couch one day, and I don't even know how this started, but we were just talking about, we were talking about love. We were just talking about the universe, and his belief was something like, I think love is like some kind of entity in another dimension that we can somehow feel through these pathways we don't really understand yet. And I was like, that's an interesting take on it. And I was thinking, I don't even remember what I said, but I just remember it was really nice to have like a deep conversation like this, because none of my high school friends and I ever really had a conversation like that, and it was kind of interesting. And then we sang a song about belonging. That's specifically about me and my friend Paco. We were walking home from a store, and we were both big fans of the Beatles, and we were singing "It won't be long, yeah, till I belong to you." And it's also kind of a metaphor just about how I felt like I belonged for once with this group of people, and we all kind of knew the same music, and we all understood each other because we're all musicians and we're all songwriters, and that's what I mean by everybody knew the words. But I was also referencing a song written by my other friend Richard, aka Mel Ross, who's also a songwriter. And by the way, Paco, who is a big Beatles fan, he's also a songwriter named Franz Lombardi. But I'm talking about Richard here, and Richard, aka Mel Ross, he wrote a song called Words, which goes, words. It's a really good song. I don't know why Richard released that song. And the song goes, words torn from the ceiling, words born from your feeling blue. So I took the melody and I was like, everybody knew the words, oh, oh, because it's supposed to sound like torn from the ceiling, oh, oh. And like, I played it for the class, and I told the class, because I was in a vocal group and we were supposed to bring in a song every day to sing and practice our vocals. So I was like, I wrote this one actually, and I wrote it about you guys, and I played it for them, and it was a really nice moment. And the bridge where I go, oh yeah, oh yeah, I used to have a solo there, but I'm honestly so bored with most solos. I just don't like the concept of solos in general. I mean, don't at me, but as a musician, even I think it's boring. I'm sorry. Like, there are only a few solos that I really like, and most of them are short, so I just wasn't really feeling the whole solo thing. So instead of throwing in a solo, this was like a month ago, my manager and I decided to throw in something that the entire crowd could kind of sing along to. So I just wrote some dumb bullshit. Seriously, I wrote it like in 2 seconds. I was like, what about, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, Pasadena. Yeah, that's fine. And then we put it out there. But yeah, I guess it's fine enough. Maybe I should have written something more interesting, but at least it's fun for the whole crowd to kind of, oh yeah, clap. And on vocals is my other friend who also goes to LACM. Her name is Ella Beyer, and we perform sometimes. And also Deb Davis, she's a teacher at LACM, so there's a lot of Pasadenan influence going on here. And the very last line in the last chorus is, I'll always be around to dance to the rhythm of this old town. And that is actually a reference to a song that Paco wrote about me. I think it was for an assignment for school. And he wrote a song about dancing to the rhythm of this old town. So here's some of that song, so you can hear the song that inspired my song.
One summer it'll be okay. Please come join us singing blue jays. highway. And if you're ever feeling down, just dance to the rhythm of this old town.
Yeah. Great times, man. These are some of my best friends. Also, I wanted to say that the musical content of this was really inspired by this song called The Wait by the band. It's just one of my favorite songs ever. It's just such a... I don't even know. It has such a feeling to it where it's kind of nostalgic and kind of sad and yet kind of hopeful. And you just get this feeling of this place with these people, and something about it feels homey and telling you to take a load off and put the load right on me. It just sounds like it's comforting. So I wanted to like put that same kind of level of comfort into my own song, and really love that song. So you can see it kind of has like the same feel. So I kind of ripped it off, but it's not that much of a rip-off. But anyway, Pasadena is one of my favorite songs I've written, and I'm really glad it's starting to kind of pop off. I'm really, really thankful for all the love people have shown for it. And yeah, that's the story of Pasadena.
I took a train to Pasadena. I never thought much of the ride. I didn't know it was so